What's up, everyone? It's your boy here, and today we're going to talk about the mistakes that beginner game developers make. And trust me, I've been there, done that, and I wish someone had told me these things when I was starting out. It would have saved me a ton of headaches and frustration. So let's get started without wasting any time. Okay, so first up, we've got the overambitious scope. As a beginner, it's easy to get carried away with these grand ideas for your game, but you gotta understand the complexities involved. Biting off more than you can chew is a surefire way to end up frustrated and abandoning your project halfway through. Now, so what's the solution? Focus on creating small, essential systems first. Things like player movement, inventory management, and dialogue systems. Pour your heart and soul into making these systems as optimal and polished as possible, because these are the building blocks you'll be using in all your future projects. Now, think of it like this: if you create a rock-solid player movement system, now you can easily integrate it into your other games down the line. You won't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. The same goes for inventory and dialogue systems. By perfecting these small systems early on, you're setting yourself up for success in the long run. Once you've got these small systems down pat, that's when you can start thinking about integrating them into your larger projects. Just take your time, test them thoroughly, and make sure they work seamlessly together. By building your game piece by piece, you'll have a much stronger foundation and a clearer path forward. Remember, game development is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't try to conquer the world in one go. Start small, focus on the essentials, and gradually build up your skills in your game. And trust the process. And before you know it, you'll be creating the games of your dreams. Moving on, there's the issue of insufficient planning. Look, I totally understand the urge to dive headfirst into coding and make your vision a reality. It's like this itch you can't wait to scratch. I know it might feel like you're not making progress, but trust me, it's time well spent. By having a clear plan in place, you'll save yourself countless hours of headaches and frustration down the road. Imagine this: you're knee-deep in coding, and suddenly you realize your code is a tangled mess, and you can't even remember what goes where or why you made certain decisions. Trust me, it's not a fun place to be. So planning is the important step. All right, guys, so let's talk about using version control in your project, like Git and GitHub. There are many benefits of using them. Like, for instance, if you created some system on day one, and on day two, you did some changes and it breaks everything and you don't remember what you did on day two, it will completely be a nightmare if there's no Git in your toolkit. With Git, you can easily go back in time and get the previous version of your project. I mean, it's a lifesaver, right? I will make a dedicated tutorial on this topic further because it's very, very useful in any type of development. Comment below if you want a Git and GitHub tutorial. I'll make sure to create one, and we can dive deeper into how to use these powerful tools to make our development process smoother and more efficient. Next problem is poor code organization. Beginners often write code that works, but it's a total nightmare to maintain and expand upon. I mean, they usually just throw everything into one script, and as the project gets larger, it becomes super difficult to manage. Let me give you an example. Like, if you have a player's script, there are other components attached to the player, right? You've got movement, animation, visuals, and so on. Try to separate them into different scripts, guys. It will make debugging so much easier, and you'll be able to expand your project easily. And honestly, learning more about different programming patterns is a must. I'm going to suggest you start with this Unity free book. Level up your programming with game programming patterns. Give it a try and try to implement those patterns in your project. Trust me, it'll make a huge difference in the long run. All right, guys, let's talk about falling into the tutorial trap, or what I like to call tutorial hell. I mean, we've all been there, right? When I was a beginner, I also watched tutorials. We have to start from somewhere, right? The problem is many beginners including myself back in the day, try to follow the tutorial as if it's gospel without putting their own brain into it. I'm telling you, don't do that. I advise you to follow tutorials, but not blindly. Try to make changes, implement your own logic, and see what happens. What's the worst that can go wrong? You're learning after all. Make some changes, tweak things here and there, and by doing so, you'll have questions, doubts, and that's what makes you learn quickly. And don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things, and to make mistakes. That's the only way you're going to grow as a developer. And finally, my last piece of advice is to keep on learning, guys. Game development is a continuously evolving field, with new tools and technologies emerging all the time. And let's be real, if you're an indie developer, you've got to learn a lot of different tools and software to stay ahead of the game. And so keep trying, keep pushing yourself, and you will eventually achieve your goals. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but trust me, it's worth it. And that's it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.